welcome to this edition of Addington News. I'm coming to you from a different location, Darren, slightly warmer than where you are in Brisbane, but I want to go back to last Friday night and Sunday for that matter, because the figures were really strong, profitable for the industry, and we had a couple of young people registering win number one at Addington, a pretty special weekend for them.
Yeah, Wilson House recording his first win at Addington on Friday night on Tempest Tiger, and Scott Ironmonger on Sunday on King Arthur for Joseph Gray. So, look, really excited for both those young guys. First win at Addington's always exciting. Any win's exciting, of course, but nice for them to both grab a win at Addington. So we're pleased to see that happen. I think we had a few owners that won their first race here too. So there was a bit of excitement across the course, and no more so than ladies' night, Greg.
Yeah, tell me a little bit more about that. It was booked out. It sounds, from your point of view, speaking to you earlier in the week, that the place was absolutely heaving. Spectators after the races was chocker. You had the band in there. So Silver Moon Ladies' Night might be here today.
Yeah, look, it was really good across the course. We had a number of functions, plus a big group in trackside dining as well. But it was good to be able to celebrate and spectators after the races. It's not something you can do every meeting, obviously. It's always open after the races, but to have a crowd like that in there, I think we're still going pretty strong about 11 o'clock. And Anton, who was the soloist in there, didn't take a break all night once he started. He just kept going, which was great. You know, there was people up dancing and really enjoying themselves, and they come down from a number of the rooms upstairs. As you say, turnover was really good. We're pleased with that. Both meetings probably have netted well in excess of $120,000 positive result after stakes and the cost of running the meeting. So that was good. So, yeah, look, all in all, a really, really good weekend, especially for this time of the year where it is a bit colder. And unfortunately, we've got plenty of rain this week, but the track should be in good condition. The boys have looked after that. The team have been out there all day yesterday making sure that it was sealed well in advance of Thursday's racing. So it should be good.
All right, so a Thursday meeting this week leading into the Sunday. So that's the configuration. The first of those just going after 5 o'clock. Later on, we'll have a look at this remarkable run that Fletcher and Sam Thornley are having, and the stock of Royal Aspirations, because Royal Pride behaved itself and actually won very comfortably, like a horse that may well be able to advance his way through to Free-for-All Company.
Yeah, look, he's having a great run, Fred. Sam's doing a good job driving them, and they're really enjoying coming to Addington every week. They didn't get a win on Sunday, but Sam couldn't have driven Luminite any better, and it just closed up the last wee bit, run fourth, I think. But the stock of Royal Aspirations, as you say, doing a tremendous job. And he's a good horse, Royal Pride. I don't think there's any doubting on his ability. He's just been having a few issues that I've been working through, but faultless display the other night, and he really put them to the sword down the back straight, Sam Thornley, and he was good. So we're going to leave you with that video, but I don't know if you've got one or two that you want to give us before we get into the big preview, Greg.
Yeah, look, if you don't want to watch the whole preview, really good race 7, the NZB Standardbred Handicap. Serious Moonlight's performance, first up from a stand, for the Andrew Stewart team was absolutely excellent. Would only need to reproduce that to beat the likes of Heisenberg and Cheezel and Mikey Maguire from that same stable and driver combination we're just talking about. So that is race 7, number 4, Serious Moonlight. It's the best bet of the night. And then I thought in race 9, the best trot of the night, good race. Clyde will probably lead. You can't knock what the Fox has been doing, though. So I'm happy to be each way the Fox. Race 9, number 7.
Rightio, let's get into the full preview. A 10-race program and just an 8-race program on Sunday with a respectable start time there on Sunday at 1:20. But Thursday night, we're back for Thursday night racing, and we get underway at 5:01 with the IRT Your Horse Our Passion Trot, a 2,000-metre standing start. All
right, tricky sort of a race. I thought Cynical had done enough in her short career to date to be very competitive in this. Trainer driven by Robbie Holmes. Last start effort for 4th was strong. So I think there's a maiden win pretty close, and if they can step away, as is the case for these short course standing start races, I think it's has a massive part to play. Antonov for Gavin Smith, couple of runs, improvement from run 1 to 2. Last start third, really strong. Emily's going to win a maiden. Drawn wide out, I reckon, might suit this 3-year-old filly as well. And Trot to Chevron. I did speak to John Dunn about this horse. He said it's a work in progress. I was surprised how short it was on debut and just didn't quite get things right in the latter part of that race. But there's obvious ability there, but I'd be wanting to risk it 2,000 metre stand just at its second start. 5, 9, 10 and 2.
Race number 2 is the first leg of the early quaddie, Hydroflow Mobile Pace 1980, and we get underway at 5:31.
Trial form and the money for Midnight Train to Georgia suggested it was going to win first up for the Matt Purvis. Had a pretty torrid run in front, Darren, and really battled on solidly for fourth. So I was happy to forgive her of that. And if she improves just a little bit, she can take this out. Tommy's on a roll from the same stable. Well, it really rolled in that amateur driver series and bolted in, and there was nothing wrong with the next up run either. Frankie Phelan, he had a wing on every hoof when he took off with it. But, yeah, I think it can go pretty close in this as well and provide the stable with a Quinella. White Star Orlando, Jason and Ian Thomas, Blair Orange down to drive this one. Forget about the last run, go on its previous form, and you wouldn't want to knock it. Stable's just going great at the moment. And Rockin' Kiwi is another for Matt Purvis, who has an each-way chance in the race. 3, 9, 12 and 5 in that first leg of the quad.
Race number 3, Trackside Dining at Addington, Pace 2600 at 6:01. We've still got a couple of trackside dining opportunities in August. There's a midwinter one on the 12th of August and a normal trackside dining on the 19th, I think it is. Addington.co.nz. Click on trackside dining, have a look at that. Very popular, and there is an all-inclusive price there as well with drinks and things included. And as I say, that's been selling out pretty well every race night, Greg.
Yeah, and it's well worth a go too. I've had a couple of friends go up there recently and they said it was outstanding. Tough race number 3, tossed up here between Let's Go Ringo, excellent first up, wouldn't need to improve much off that. And the 10, the Elite Athlete, who was second last time, and again is from the Matt Purvis team with a flying Robbie Close in the bike. So you definitely want to have both of those on your ticket. Gavin Smith has a horse called James Cagney. He also had My Ultimate Chevron, who you remember. I'm sure it was the horse that won the Sackling Stakes at its first start. And James Cagney, he felt, was at least as good. It was My Ultimate something. But anyway, you know the horse I'm talking about. James Cagney's trialled okay. I think there's definitely wins there. And if what Gavin said about it is right, then you might get a reasonable price about it. And Sports Babe, again, is going to win a race, this filly for Henderson Hunter. Didn't get all favours last time, but prepared to forgive it that its previous 3 runs were all placings. 10, 5 or 5 or 10, whichever way you want to go, 11 and 9.
Race number 4, Garrett's Mobile Pace. Of course, Garrett's resident on course with their store upstairs in the Twiggers stand. It's a trot, 2,600 metre stand, 2,600 metre mobile, I should say. Gets underway 6:31.
Darren, Phoebe Imperial was thrown in here. You could easily add that to the best bets of the night, I think. She's been racing against far stronger fields than this. And this race just looks right up his alley. I think he'll win this, and whatever odds you take, you should. Resolves in there from a good handy barrier draw. Paul Nairn, of course, a little bit of an excuse at its last couple of runs. Prepared to forgive it that. It's got a barrier draw to work from. Tweedledee's another one that's thrown into this race. When you're looking through and working out horses that are well handicapped, there's no better example when you consider she's a rating 72, has Carter Dalgetty, who's a claiming junior driver, and Phoebe Imperial 68, and it's an up to 70 with those conditions, which allow Tweedledee in. So you need to factor that into your betting. And Spider Moment's been disappointing this time in. He's much better than that. And again, as well handicapped. Now, you're probably sitting there, Darren, thinking, we're going on about Fletcher and Sam Thornley here. He's got 2 in the race, Royal Pride and Paris Prince, and they're not in 4. They're just not as well placed in the race as those other ones I've mentioned, particularly Phoebe Imperial, Tweedledee and Spider Moment. That's the reason they probably will come win it the way the stable's going, though.
Show you what a good race it is, Greg, because Prince Tekka, he's been going great guns. Obviously, it's a step up, and we've got the Master and Pawnee in there with Resolve. But as you say, some of these horses are getting in very well in the mobile trot, and it's going to be a competitive race as these races have been lately. The last leg of the early quaddies, the Paul Graham McJoinery Mobile Pace 1980 at 7:01.
This is the Craig Thompson My Sky race of the night. What about how many of these horses are going to work their way to the middle grade at least? Van Shard, I like, trialled nicely, gets off the machine quickly. Whether he's ready to do that in this start, well, time will tell, but Ricky May will make that decision. You've got horses like Beach Hopper, who's done nothing wrong in 3 starts to date. Very good win last time. A Classical Act won on debut and did it really nicely. And I think Don Maro might be a little bit special, Darren. I see Blair Orange has opted for that one. I think originally he might have been down for Beach Hopper, but he's with Don Maro, and so am I. I know it's not going to be easy for him out there, but if you've got a chance to, 1, go back and have a look at the video, 2, check out his sectionals, it'll blow you away. He can win this. He really can. He's a smarty for Roger Austin and Blair Orange. Van Shard, yes. Mitzi Gaynor's going to get a nice economical run, and then it's a toss-up between Beach Hopper and a Classical Act, who will have to be even better than it was first up to win from out there. But very, very good race. Best each way in it, though, is Don Maro.
Race number 6, the Lamb and Hayward Mobile Trot 2600 at 7:31, and a couple of young horses in here of interest. Kauai Sunset was quite a smart 2-year-old, got things wrong a wee bit, but big on ability, Greg.
Yeah, no question about that at all. Spoke to Mark Jones, hasn't been anywhere with him. So whatever he does, he's going to improve off. I thought if he was really even 90%, he'd win the race. He's better than this field, Darren. There's no doubt about that at all. He went a cracking race in the Jewels before he was put aside. I think he finished 5th and he sat parked, and he's very, very brave. So I didn't put him on top. I put a stablemate on top by virtue of it's got race day fitness on its side, naughty. So I've gone for it over Kauai Sunset, but there's no doubt that horse has more ability than most in this. A Gui has ability, but just keeps letting us down, and Lovers Everywhere has to be a chance. But the Jones boy with a pair of really smart 3-year-olds in the 6th.
Race number 7 is the first leg of the Lake Quaddie, the NZB Standardbred Handicap Pace 2600 at 8:01.
Yep, you've heard me talk about Serious Moonlight if you were watching the preview earlier. I think he's going to go a wee way, this guy. I laughed with Andrew Stewart about 3 weeks ago and said, I haven't been picking the horse, and that's probably why it's been winning. But he said, don't do it then, just leave it the way it is. I just can't do that this time round because he looks very well placed. He'll get the standing start manners a bit better this time, I hope. And if he does, he'll take a lot of catching. Heisenberg is going to get a win, keeps going great races. Cruiser keeps going great races. It gets in nicely off the 10 metres. It'd be no shock to see it win a race like this. And then you're back to Cheezel 25 and the flying Mikey Maguire. Now, Mikey's not just going to roll around and get the front, has been. But he'll still be very competitive. I'd be popping him this time, though, Darren. I don't think you need him on your ticket. 476. I'll go for Cheezel by virtue of the 10 metres in front of Mikey.
Race number 8 is the Avon City Ford Mobile Pace 1980, and that gets underway at 8:31.
Happy Place, done nothing wrong since being with the Bob Butt team, and I reckon it gets another great chance to win here. Those 2 wins were excellent. Last time didn't get all favours. Gets the advantage over First Class here, and I think it might just be enough. First Class will be favourite. I'll almost be assured of that, but I think Happy Place can beat it. Classy Dancers going good races. John Morrison for Tony Barron, and the other one off the second row, Marin Franco's been racing very well, although the second row may blunt its chances a little bit. But, yep, I'm happy to be on Happy Place in the 8th.
Race number 9, so Spectators Bar Mobile Trot 2600 at 9:01.
I don't know if I've seen this over the last 3 or 4 years, Darren, but I'm certainly seeing it week after week after week. Gee, this is competitive. This is again a great example of racing twice a week at this time of year at Addington and the form stacking up. It's just working out beautifully for horses like Clyde, Sue Princess. The Fox has done some things at Ashburton prior to coming to Addington, but you know, like I just see these races as if you can work out where they land and the form generally stacks up. They're never easy, but they just look like on paper to be easier. And Clyde will be in front of this. It'll be really hard to run down again. Craig Thornley takes the drive for Donald Williamson. The Fox may have to sit outside it, but since coming back to the racetrack, he's just been going great races. You'd have to have Morano in there because it's going to get an economical trip on the fence. And That's probably what she needs at this stage, and Sue Princess will be charging home. So I went 7, 6, 1 and 8. You could throw them up, land them down the other way, but if Clyde's in front, he might be able to beat the Fox again, but I don't think there's that much between those two.
Yeah, Greg, it's a good example of trainers nominating for races. This is one of the races we split, and we were able to split it 3 ways, which meant the rating band got reasonably tight for most of them, gives them all a go. And of course, racing pretty good money. I think we've got about 146,000 in stakes on offer at this meeting. So, yeah, it does make for the competitive nature of them, as you say, and it doesn't make it easy to pick a winner. That's the problem.
But if you're taking a quantity or a multiple bet, you've just got to put them in. You just got to go, oh, well, there's 3. I better have them all.
100%. Race number 10, as it usually is the first direct taxis mobile pace 1980 at 9:31.
Yeah, and there's I'm not going to say it's a good thing, but gee, it'll be really hard to beat. Yeah, Heaven on High was part of that inquiry last week, and certainly didn't have all favours. Comes up with a barrier draw this time, Darren, which I think would be a huge assist. So I'm picking Heaven on High will be in the fight. Whether it takes and gets past Naughty Star and RK Finn at the start, takes a trail behind Luminite, who's liking to lead at the moment, isn't it? I don't think it'll matter. I think Heaven on High will take it out. Over Swell Time, who's now with Ben Waldron. Talked about this horse 2 starts back, was very unlucky. An improved effort last time. Yeah, I'm liking Swell Time, and there definitely will be a win there in the next couple of starts, maybe 3 starts, but you need to have it. Luminite, because she's racing well in the stable, is absolutely flying. And the other one I had in there was Geordie, and that's leaving out Tasman Tempest and a couple of others too. But a good race the last, but I think it's Heaven on High's race to win.
Look, you might have noticed that those races all run at half-hour intervals, Greg, and that's because we've got greyhounds with us on Thursday night, a dual code meeting, which is always a bit of excitement. And the last night that Trevor Wilkes will be commentating with his pending retirement. So we want to wish Trev all the best for a good night on Thursday night and a happy retirement. He's been a diligent worker for the greyhound industry for a very long time, and always a bit of fun, Trev, and we hope that he has a really good night. As we say, spectators will be open after the last. We race on Sunday, 8 races, 1:20 to 4:16, so all over in a 3-hour window. Respectable time to be starting, where the turnovers are a wee bit higher later in the afternoon, so we're looking forward to that. But we want to leave you with Royal Pride, as we've said, Greg. Just reminds us what a great trainer Fred Fletcher's been over the years. Champion horses, Royden Scott, Royden Glen, Sundong, and this young trotter, Royal Pride, when he gets it right, he's very special, isn't he?
Yeah, he certainly is. Just want to reiterate what you said before about Trevor Wilkes. Of course, a big part of the harness industry too. Every year, Westport over there reading out the odds, just loved it over there. Been on many tours, and he loves his harness racing as well. They had a big day there for him on Monday, and is a fitting farewell on Thursday. But yep, Royal Pride. Like I said, I reckon this horse is a free-for-aller in the making. Still only a young trotter, but he's certainly being moulded into a very good one by Fred Fletcher. And he will tell you that in no small part, Sam Thornley has had a big part to play in that as well.
Yeah, look, we'll leave you with that on the way out. Have a good night, Thursday night and Sunday. And all of that information, form information, addington.co.nz. Let's have a look at Royal Pride.
28.7 the back straight quarter, 4 clear from Jerry Garcia. Cody Banner trotting roughly, then came Madeline Stowe from Navarra. Royal Pride passing the 200, 4 lengths away Madeline Stowe, then came Navarra from Jerry Garcia. Royal Pride at the 100 has a gap of 5 on Madeline Stowe, then came Navarra, but it's Royal Pride. He's paid the believers tonight. Royal Pride won it by 4, second across Madeline Stowe. Navarra ran third from Make My Sundon, then came Jerry Garcia from Cody Banner.